Hello, Aries. How are you? Today is, I almost said August, November 12th. Hope you are doing well. Yesterday we had the 11/11 portal. I'm here to do your reading for the week. And fortunately this week, both Venus and Mercury change signs. So that'll be helpful. They move into Sagittarius. That will alleviate some of the very heavy energy that we've had since the beginning of Scorpio season. I know on my side, this has been a very intense Scorpio season, so some levity is very welcome. That said, let's go ahead and, these cards are just bursting to get out. Let's start with the weekly energy. So for Aries, overall energy for the week of November 12th. Overall energy for the week of November 12th. Okay, keep going. For Aries, overall energy, week of November 12th. Okay. So we have two cards here, freedom and purification. Now, this is kind of like, purification is exactly what I would call Scorpio season, you know, where it's sort of like the phoenix rising from the ashes. So this is a very happy version of that phoenix rising from the ashes, but essentially being born anew, you know. Here it like grows under the sun. So light being shed, being able to blossom finally. Perhaps, you know, like also this makes me think of like weeding, pulling up the weeds so that something can grow in a pure environment. And then we have freedom, being able to fly, being released from the, you know, some sort of prison, whether it be a prison of the past, prison of, you know, a mental prison, but being able to finally spread your wings in the way that you want to. And it may have been that something had to end, like I said, you know, rooting out the weeds in order for you to blossom and then blossom and grow and fly away off to sort of new adventures. Let's get the challenge for the week. So you may find yourself, you know, with some new beginnings, new opportunities, a chance to sort of spread your wings. Okay. Oh my God. And okay, so this is really funny. You all just watched me. I did a reading on Wednesday of like decisions that had to be made. And both of these cards came out there. And look at that. That is the freedom card, right? Being released. And also this one, adventure, being able to move forward, hesitant at first, taking your first steps, right? But moving off into a new, brighter direction. Here, literally flying the coop. Both knights, one is a Knight of Cups, the other is a Knight of Pentacles. So moving in, and you may feel that it's a challenge, right? It might not feel like freedom yet, and that's why that understanding card is here. It may feel like, you know, you're being left alone, or that, you know, you're afraid to take those first steps, afraid to take that first leap out of there. There may be some fear involved in walking a new path, but you know, this kind of reassures that this is part and parcel of what's going on now, that there is a new path for you unfolding that is much nicer, right? That will end up, this also reminds me a little bit of the Sun card, that can lead you somewhere really beautiful. So to not necessarily be afraid of taking that first steps, of flying towards your future. You know, and sometimes, because right now we have these huge swallow, I don't know which bird it is, but there's these huge flocks of these birds that fly together in formation, and they're starting their sort of migratory season. And here, they're all kind of going out on their own direction. So to me, this is also a moment of you breaking free from the pack, right? Really standing out on your own, taking steps on your own, to do things differently. And it may feel challenging, right? Because it's scary, another bird. And this is that Gemini energy, that Mars and Gemini, right? Because the Gemini is the communicators, very often represented by the birds who are the communicators. So here we have Horus, cosmic gateway. Your thoughts are magnetic and powerful. Miraculous changes are occurring. Okay, so very exciting things, really going through that cosmic gateway, which was a result of this eclipse, also the 11:11 gateway yesterday, but really sort of branching out into new territory, spreading your wings, trying something new. You may have to go at it alone. It may feel scary, like you're taking your first steps, but the path leads you to somewhere new and better, right? 6 of Swords, moving away from chaos, moving towards peace and calm. 2 more cards, please. All right, Page of Cups and the World card here. So, there may be some sort of offer, right? New beginnings, and this is a new offer and happiness, something being extended to you. Moving into this, right? Moving out of challenge and into some sort of new offer that's going to change everything. That's going to start a whole new cycle. So you may get, like I said, you may be getting an offer, right, that wraps up. There's a clear distinction between yesterday and tomorrow here, and moving towards something and receiving something that allows you to close out this cycle and begin anew, start something anew. It's almost like getting the closure you need to close out a chapter, or finally like getting an offer that allows you to put something to bed and start something new. But there is a very clear demarcation of past and future here, right? Where, like I said, this is like the gates being opened. Here the sun is rising. There's going to be a very sort of clear moment when a new chapter begins. Okay, so what do we have here? Right, so slow and steady. And then we have this wishing well here in reverse. Now let me see what the wishing well in reverse. Did I not take? Of course I didn't. Always when I need it, fortunately right here. Okay, so let's look at this wishing well here. And so this is a 12. And this is a 12, right? And today's the 12th. 48. They both make a 3, which is Gemini's sign. So the wishing well in reverse says, this is not the time to force anything to happen in your life, especially whatever seems to be eluding you, You can't demand that the universe provide you with what you want. Unmet desires can burst into a destructive fire of obsession. Step back, breathe, and take your attention away from what you want. Ask instead for what you need. Only the unseen knows how to align desire, inspiration, and its manifest form. As the coin disappears into the mystery of the dark, of the pool, at the bottom of the well, have faith. Don't engage in wishful thinking. You must co-create with spirit, not make demands. You may yet get what you want. Never forget that life is filled with choices. Make a wish, but be open to the enchanted way in which spirit fulfills your desires. Right? So this to me is kind of like a watch out, these two things here, that it's about things unfolding in their natural time, right? Like here I was talking about migratory season. There's a season when things move, when these fly, when that happens, and you can't force it. So like I said, there's kind of like, there's this moment of purification. There is a gateway, and this talks about like a very specific moment in time. That moment in time will find you, right? And you will see it because maybe things will start leaving your life. You will be given an opportunity to fly out onto your own. You will be given an opportunity, like you'll actually like hear the call, like, right? Like something will come in to let you know that it's time. And until that time, like it's definitely happening, but don't force it. Right? You can't force the migratory seasons. They happen when they happen. And that's happening so that you are better prepared for when this takes place, right? It's going to happen when it's supposed to happen. It's not going to happen necessarily when you want. And that's so that you don't trip and fall, right? So if you keep forcing a baby to take its steps, it needs to like develop its muscles, it needs to figure out its balance, and there's a process that's involved in that. So you can't push it. It's coming, but it's going to come to you in its own time. So if you're feeling frustrated by the fact that things aren't moving fast enough, that you can't seem to get to this next chapter, right? Like you feel stuck in a cage, or you feel grounded, you feel too rooted to where you are right now, that there's a purification process that's happening in order to help you develop the muscles that you need to be able to break out on your own. And at a very specific point, some offer will come into you or come towards you that gives you the opportunity to finally fly. However, it's going to happen when it's supposed to, not necessarily when we want to. So to not, especially with the Mars retrograde right now, don't push, let things unfold. All right, let's get some overall advice here for Aries. Okay, I don't know which one I should take. I'll take the two that stayed on the table. Oh my God, I love it. Okay, so this is, I'm so bad at pronouncing this, a really tough one. Ornithomancy, which is being able to tell like the future by watching the patterns of the birds, right? Omen. And then we have crystal ball clarity. Now let me read these two to you. I'm going to start with what's the one on the floor? The one on the floor says astrology. So here we are. Okay, so this one says, be alert, for the signs are all around you. You have not heeded your internal alarm, so this flight of birds comes to warn you that you are in the process of making a huge mistake. Oh dear. You may be flying high at the moment, but could fall quickly and suffer a very nasty bump as you land. Already you've been swept away, but never fear, it's not too late to get back on track. Ask yourself what resonates with your truth and integrity. Take action accordingly. Soar freely above the commitments you've made. Liberate your mind and heart to allow your soul to take off. Okay, so this says, all that glitters is not gold, but I believed what I'd been told. This omen bids me to retreat as protection, not defeat. And this says, do not ignore your intuition, messages, or signs. Think before doing anything that will take you from your true path. Someone is not being honest. Now is not the time for new ventures. Do not move forward at this time. Okay, so So, okay, let me read this one. All right, your wish to grow and move ahead has been heard, and the universe awaits your further instructions. You may think you know what you want at this time, but are unsure of how to ask for it or exactly what it is you should ask for. Remember, if your thinking is muddled, the universe cannot give you a clear response. This card comes to remind you that you must be absolutely crystal clear about what it is you actually desire in order to bring it about. This is the foundation of the art of manifestation. Take time out to focus on the subject of your inquiry. At this time, clarity seeks you out and asks, what is it you really want to know? Okay, so it says here, be conscious of every word you speak and each thought you think. Concentrate on honing your own special talents and interests. A clear sign will soon present itself in answer to your question. Be sure to keep on full alert. Okay, so this, so the message of a sign coming in is very clear. And we get two messages here, a warning and an encouragement that A, you're going to get a very clear sign of what is not for you, right? So this is also here, very clear sign of what's needed to wrap something up, to close something out. And at the same time, this card here also talks about making sure that your thoughts stay clear and focused, because that is like, this plays a double role. You're going to get communication about what you shouldn't be moving towards, right? And at the same time, manifesting what it is that exactly want, right? That makes your heart soar, that gives you that sense of freedom. So to pay very much attention, A, to your own intuition, your own physical body, and the signs that you see, but also to pay attention. It may be the birds, because we have 1, 2, 3, 4 cards here with birds on them. Again, like I said, Mars is retrograde in Gemini, so they will be, that's what brings the communications. There's something that will clear you about a path you are not meant to walk down. And also at the same time, focus your intentions on the path that will lead you towards where you want to. So to pay attention, like this one, it's like they know the right path because there's light at the end of it, right? Pay attention to the signs around you. Don't ignore, right? Like this lady here is swimming right into it. Don't ignore or talk yourself out of clear signals, right? Like sometimes when we do tarot readings for ourselves, we can be like, does this person love me? And you'll get like the Death card, the Devil card, and the 7 of Swords, and you find a way to sort of like negotiate it into a way that it says what you want. Don't do that right now. Take things for face value. Like I said, here, there's something must leave. There's a phoenix rising from the ashes energy. But in order, like, you have to pay attention to what you need to be walking away from in order to clarify what the next chapter looks like. And that next chapter is definitely coming in, definitely slower than you would like. But it seems to me that there's one area here where you might be pushing towards that is clearly not for you. And so you have to pay attention to the signs that come, like I said, from within, but also from without, like lightning bolt, any sort of lightning bolt aha moment. Trust that. I always tell people, as I was walking into the church on my wedding day, I knew, like, as I crossed the threshold, I was like, oh my God, this is not what I should be doing. It was obviously too late and we did inevitably divorce. But pay attention to those kind of communications that you get, because they're not leading you astray. They're leading you into letting you wrap something up so that you can get on so that you can be free to fly the path or, move in the direction of that you're supposed to actually be going into. Okay, hope this was helpful. Have a lovely week. Take care.